Come, let me get you some.
Yo, 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 welcome to Saber Talk Sunday. Mundo in the house and Darth Perez in the house. How's y'all Sunday going? Roosters in the house.
KB Productions.
Charlie, go ahead.
KB Productions is here. Scott Carpenter.
Yeah. All right. Everybody's gonna have fun. I hope we have fun tonight with the with tonight's talks. We're going to talk about weathering tonight, man. Whether you want your hilt pristine or dirty. Talk dirty to me, baby.
Well, I can definitely tell you this. I think when it comes to weathering lightsaber hilts, it all depends on what you are looking for with your hilt in particular. Like, if you don't mind it being like dirty or whatnot or pristine, like it all comes down to a collector's idea, you know?
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I definitely agree with that. Um, in for the most part, also, uh, Krooster says, "I like my mind dirty." So Krooster's a dirty guy.
Don't get your mind out of the gutter, man. Get your mind out of the gutter.
No, it is not in the gutter, dude. No way. We are talking pristine or dirty. Now, tell me this or not is true. Is space is space clean or dirty for the most part?
I would say, well, it all comes down, I would say, to subatomic particles in the matter, but I would say it really all depends.
It all depends. Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Um,
Now,
but I will say that when it comes to weathering hilts, it actually all depends on how you want your hilt to be weathered.
well, that is true.
For a good example, let me take for example, this right here is Scytho Diaz's hilt from that we see in season 5 of Clone Wars when Plo Koon finds it on one of the moons of Obadiah.
Mm-hmm.
And from what we see it's not only rusted, but also it looks like it's got frostbite on the hilt. So what I'm thinking is later on I will have this sent out to not only be weathered, but made it look like it was taken out of a snowbank that has been there for like 25 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look up let me do an image search. Metal retrieved from snow after a very long time. No, I don't want AI. Stop it. So, okay, now all I'm getting is images of snow on a roof. So how about metal rusted by snow? Huh. Interesting.
Now, do you think, okay, if you're out in the wooded area, of course you're going to be, sleeping, and depending on the season that you're there, how much moisture is in the air, how much of the elements you're going to be sleeping in. Now, if you are in, let's say you're in your ship, you're not going to have any of that touch your saber whatsoever, right? So you may be walking through the woods and everything with your saber on your hip, but at the end of the night, you go back to your ship, you're not going to have all of that weathering that's going to go onto your saber,
Well,
right?
I would say keeping in mind when it comes to Scytho Diaz's hilt, keep in mind it was it was lost on a snow covered planet for over 10 years. So the metal
Yeah.
of a lightsaber is much more resilient than the average metal that we would know of. But in this case, I would say
Yeah.
definitely some rust, but also one thing we could anticipate is also parts of the hilt looking like it's been cracked, and maybe inside those cracks are remnants of snow, like etching, sort of.
Yeah.
So I would say the metal parts, the silver parts here would have definitely some rust look like. The bronze parts here would have some sort of oxidization, um,
Mm-hmm.
exposure to the elements, sort of thing. And yeah, basically,
Crucial, I kind of agree with you on that, man. The Duro steel,
yeah,
depending on how strong that they layered it with, right?
definitely, yeah,
Um, if they layered it pretty strong, you're not going to get a whole lot of weathering to it. And so, I mean, it could be slightly weathered, or it could be just almost pristine, but not quite, right?
yes. Well, my idea is to definitely do something involving making the silver parts look partially rusted,
Part, uh-huh.
having the middle part here uh, have etches of like being cracked, but in the middle it would look like there's frost getting in between
Mm-hmm.
cracks. And the cool thing about this saber, this is the X Tech version of
Uh-huh.
DS's hilt, so it's easy to take apart. So that's easy when it comes to doing that.
Right.
Um,
Do you have a Hobby Lobby near you?
First off, yes, and yeah, I've also got Michael's. There's a Hobby Lobby out near in Hickson. There's also a
Okay.
Hobby Lobby out near the mall, Hamilton Place. And being Jewish and going to a Hobby Lobby, that's exciting. That's a story to tell, ladies and gentlemen. That's a story to tell. But they like us. We're the people of the book, you know. But yeah, Hobby Lobby is definitely a good place for these sort of things to, spray painted, make it look like that.
Well, they are because I just picked. I'm gonna try not to, but look
Look
at that.
at that. Very nice.
It's got rust, it's got snow, and it's got soot. $5, bro. $5, man.
Crewster here, he mentioned that thinking of Anakin's hilt from episode 2 and 3 are chromed and how they get dinged. Actually, there is a guy who created I forget his. Let, Give me a second. I'll let me go to my Instagram. I have his one of his I have his site
Mm-hmm.
done, and what basically what one of the things saved, and basically what it is this guy. His name is Vendor's Replica. He
Be
is
safe, Mo. Go ahead.
he's based out of the Netherlands, and he
Mm-hmm.
made and he does this amazing weathering job for lightsabers. Let me see which one it
Oh.
is. Trying to find it. Oh, I don't know where it is. Crap. But anyways, he does weathering to a bunch of his lightsabers,
Mm-hmm.
and I have found one where he has this is a
Scott. I Man, you told everybody in here, damn it, Scott. I didn't want you to tell
so
nobody.
basically this is, I believe, this is the Roman props version of the Kenobi 3.
Oh
Now
yeah.
let's look at what it would look like post Mustafar. Oh,
Wow,
that
what a big difference.
yeah, it's And honestly, this is like when we look at the episode 3 when we look at the one from the Kenobi series, we see it as very, very, very weathered. Very, it it's looks like it's been buried a long time. And I think that, and I've actually planned on doing something like that with the TXQ version of the Kenobi 3.5. I'm getting also the SE um, thing, the emitter and thin neck for the special edition, and I want to
Hmm.
send that one out to give it that and have it have that post Mustafar look.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Now, how many of you would actually venture for the scratches? Now, I would say if you're making a custom lightsaber for yourself, and it could be a happy accident, but would you actually, when you buy your brand new hilt, without being pristine, I guess, right? You, KB, right? You would love the scratches on it because if you're going for that weathered and used look, I would say you. I mean, it's a given to have some scratches on it, right? Battle scars, exactly. Battle scars,
absolutely.
and the brass to be patinaed as well, right? Brewster, yes, absolutely. Dremel all the way.
Yeah. Here's another
And,
cool thing is that the same guy, also did weathering on the TX Cube version of the Kenobi A&H hilt, the one that you can get with
mhm.
that core. And this is what I like. What's basically the Tunisia treatment, which I think just looks absolutely banging. It looks, I mean, look, the TXQ that you get is incredible in its own right, but I think adding that
Oh,
thin
it is.
weathering to make it look like the Tunisia hilt, it's just, oh my god! Like look closely at the details.
Uh huh. Now I know Jeremy and Tearfon Orbital have done heat staining, and they've all come out good. And I
Oh
think
yeah,
also
Tearfun is amazing in that, right? Yes,
who let me see, I Tano Sabers has done a couple too as well. I think of heat
it has
staining,
indeed.
and they have done an amazing jobs on those hilts, man.
Yeah, I
Scott,
saw.
have you done the heat staining before? I mean, I personally haven't done any heat staining yet. I'm too chicken shit right now until I get better at things.
By the way, I actually did a um, I there was another picture I think I saw, but I forgot where it was. It was Anakin Skywalker's Episode 2 lightsaber, um, reforged, and dirtied from Geonosis, and it looks amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. Um, but which is just funny to see that. But I wouldn't mind if I ever got an Anakin Episode 2 hilt to have it all dirtied up, because don't get me wrong, the chrome looks nice, but there's only so much you can do with it.
Yeah, I think when I finally get a Kenobi hilt, I mean, an actual Kenobi hilt, I think I'm gonna have it not super weathered, but maybe medium to not a heavy weathered, but kind of like a medium
What
to
Shinobi hilt
heavy.
do you want?
Well, that's a thing. I
Because here's
I
the
can't
thing,
even make up my mind.
I can actually see someone doing the weathering on a Kenobi Episode 2 hilt, because as far as we know, that hilt was never recovered from Geonosis.
Yeah, so that would be a heavy weathered, definitely a heavy weathered hilt,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. One series of hilts that definitely can work for weathering, but also can be worth doing weathered on, are clan hilts. Now, this is my Keller and Beck, the Slayer for Clones by Loretto Sabers. It all depends on how you want the weathering to be done. Like, for example, if you want it slightly weathered, like Clone Wars post battle weathered, or
Hmm.
um, on the run Order 66, or in the case of Keller and Beck, not slightly weathered around, for example, the Graf bar here, but also maybe you want to make it look like there was a blaster bolt that through singed the hilt slightly.
Hmm.
Like that sort of thing. That sort of thing can do it. You know.
Right. Now, Rich is in the house. Rich, is that heavy weathered, lightly weathered, or strongly weathered? You know. I mean, you know, there's I guess there's various there's so many different variants that you could have of weathered, you know, and so I for me, I would not necessarily go, you know, like the Warlock is pristine right now. And later on, I do plan on getting it just slightly weathered. Right now, I've got that's why I have it here in the garage, man, because it's starting to gain some scratches here and there.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all can see any of those. I mean, they're
I can
not
see it.
real
It's
deep.
very glossy from a perspective, but I mean,
Yeah.
even looking at my Revan hilt right here, like there are some scratches up near these lines here, but that's from wear and tear when hitting against sabers in my bag. But either way, the Jedi's version of Revan's hilt is actually a perfect example of weathering of a hilt that can be weathered, or at the
Hmm.
very least, you can also heat stain the tips at the claws at the top here, which also work as well as the blade plug.
Yeah, I think the heat staining would do really well with that because if there's so much heat within the, you know,
Well,
within
keep
the
in
blade
mind,
itself, you know, the blade itself.
lightsabers
Yeah,
are
but the blade itself has.
yes, but lightsabers are emitting plasma blade are emitting plasma, very high
Yeah.
heat energy. So obviously, when it's going, even when if it's not hitting the sides of these, even if it's not hitting the metal, the heat will cause the heat from that blade will cause stains. And I mean, a good example of this is my
Speaking.
Darth Maul that I got from that I bought by myself on AliExpress, and I got Lucky Sabers
Uh-huh.
weathering. This, if you look closely, that's what heat staining looks like. Basically,
Hold
I
on, buddy. Hold on. Let's see.
two blade
Let's
I
get
had blade
you.
marks on both ends, and it looks like it's very stained there. If you guys can see, there is blue,
Yes. Yeah.
which
Got it
honestly,
right there.
I get that we see in episode one that the hilt is pristine, but honestly, this is more like what we would see from Darth Maul's actual hilt in real universe.
Hmm.
So this is just that sort of thing.
It's funny, KB. Use the force. Use your saber to cook that steak. Damn it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, they he did a wonderful job, man. That person who did the staining on that thing.
his name
Uh,
is Todd
you
Shea,
know,
Lucky Sabers.
I wonder what is the length of time? What is the length of time for the heat staining? You know, I have not personally tried to heat stain at all. Like I said, I'm too chicken shit to do it right now. But I want to research on the timing of the heat staining, whether it be, you know, just a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, you know, maybe about a minute in the heat, stop, let it cool, go ahead and do it again. I would love to research that and find out the timing that it takes to do the heat staining. And then and then if I do have some kind of tips like those, to do the heat staining on the very tips of those. Now it depends also on the maker of the hilts, right?
Yeah, especially with the material.
Yeah. If it well within universe as well, because if you have certain materials that employ basically, you know, the different types of steel or the different types of other materials used in the lightsabers in the Star Wars world, how do they go about Cobalt, huh, Terrence? Cobalt's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting because cobalt, I believe, has a very high temperature rating, and you have to
Well,
get really hot to
well,
get it.
in the case of heating, I mean, it wouldn't be actually heating the saber or bluing it like that. It would mostly be you would use paint
Mm, maybe,
because you
but
don't
again,
keep in mind that even if you could do the light actual light heat staining, keep in mind that you don't want to also deform the metal on the lightsaber because
yeah,
painting would be your best option in that regard.
right. But that's exactly what I'm saying there too, as well, because you have because the blade is plasma, it is superheated to a certain degree, and so with that certain degree that you have, right? That certain degree that you heat, and this is all in universe. This is not real life bit,
Oh,
but if you apply it to real life, if you apply it to real life, then yeah, man, you're gonna warp the steel and everything else. But in universe, as it is a plasma blade, there is some kind of component or compound that they use to make sure or to ensure that the emitter never warps, never gets warped or melted down or so forth because of that superheated blade. Now, it's a possibility that you do have the electromagnetic, you know, and I'm thinking science crap too, right? But the electromagnetic cover, so to speak, that covers the blade in itself could be sufficient enough to not screw with the metal in any way that the saber has, right? In terms of the emitter part of it, because it's not going to affect the rest of the hilt. So if you watched Hacksmith, and it's very interesting if you watch Hacksmith and you see the stuff that he's come up with. It's amazing how he built those lightsabers and the components that he uses, and they don't even melt, the emitter part of it. So if you're going to go back and forth between the in universe and real life, it's brain boggling, dude. And
mm-hmm.
Hacksmith knows what the hell he's doing.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Electro
I'm.
electroplating.
Uh,
I would say electroplating is good for your chassis and not for unless you're having a shelf queen,
uh, I'm
right?
sorry. I just saw something really, really dumb, and I'm just like looking at this, and I'm just like, I don't want to take it away from the conversation. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm putting my phone down. uh,
Definitely. Scott.
uh, yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, there are definitely some hilts though that you do not ever, 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 ever want to weather. Case in point, Palpatine's lightsaber, Darth Sidious's lightsaber.
Oh yeah, well
That
you
is
can't.
something that
I agree with that.
closest thing you can do is maybe um, instead of having it being chrome silver, make it like oxidized black. If you like the new TXQ version of the Black Sidious hilt, but
Hmm.
and maybe a little bit of cobalt bluing like at the like the inner edge of the emitter, but or maybe not, but that's it. Like that thing is so pristine. That thing is so
Well,
pristine.
there has to be. Yeah, there has to be some hills that are pristine. I
Well,
mean,
and keep in
you
mind
you
that
know, like you.
in universe, Sidious's lightsaber is partly made out of frick, which is lightsaber resistant metal.
Yeah.
So that thing is supposed to be so pristine.
Uh,
Oh,
well, yeah, I would definitely say you're right about that
now,
because
now,
and of course Palpatine was such a pompous ass too, though.
I will
He
say,
would never.
maybe one reason to weather that is if you wanted to do a post Endor, like somehow it didn't get disintegrated when Palpatine exploded when he fell down the reactor shaft. Maybe,
Well, I don't
maybe
think he had it on him. No, I don't think he had it on him when he went down at all.
mm,
I think he had it. I think he had it
in the comic,
stashed somewhere.
in the new comics, he does have it on him, but honestly, who knows? But yeah, look, maybe honestly, but who knows? I'm just saying.
Well, look at it this way. If you're going that route, look at it this way. You're gonna have Vader picking him up. Who's to say that his lightsaber didn't fall out the way Vader picked him up over his head and threw him over?
Uh, that's a point, but honestly, I don't see it. Either way,
Hmm. Either way, I mean,
another good one that could be weathered slightly is Luke's hilt, the V1.
hmm
Also, the V2, the stunt hilt that is used by it when filming. That's one that can definitely be used.
well, we know. I would say that the Graflex should be pretty much slightly, well, not necessarily heavy weather, but I would say a medium weather on it if you're going for the New Hope look, simply because Kenobi had it in his chest, right?
That
To
is
give to
true,
Luke.
especially around the button areas. I would also say that when it comes to that, a scrap flex also works because that's the cool thing is that scrap flexes, custom sabers like that are a perfect
Scott's
way
got a point there too.
of yeah. I'm thinking on a train of thought. Um, are a good way of showing that sort of weathering prospect of it.
Now you could be right. Oh, again, what I know we didn't see it, but what if Kenobi actually after the fight picked up the Graflex and actually cleaned it up for I mean he didn't know about Luke yet, but the thing is that if he did foresee Luke in the future, right? And in doing so, after the fight with Anakin and he picked up the saber, he cleaned it up in case he was actually questioned about the saber itself, right? So cleaning it up and storing it away before anybody knew about where the saber was, he could say, I don't know, because from a certain point of view
Well,
that it was lost.
who would question it? Wait, what are you talking about? Are you talking about like post episode 3 or well, I don't get it.
No, no, no. We're talking about a new hope. We're talking about a new hope, right?
Oh,
We're talking about both three and a new hope. I'm coinciding both films simply because after the fight, right? And then after Yoda had told him, "Hey, you got training on Tatooine to watch over the boy and so forth," right?
hmm.
Um, so the thing is that after he got sent to Tatooine, when he after the fight with Anakin and he left, he picked up the saber, he took off, but he cleaned the saber in order to make sure that it was in good working condition. So when he actually was able to give it to Luke, um, it had to been, slightly weathered in all those years that he was there while Luke was growing up, right? Even though it was in the trunk. you still had moisture and stuff like that, but it wasn't like fully weathered, real bad. It looked pretty clean when he gave it to Luke, correct?
Yeah.
In A New Hope. So if you go and you look at that situation, right? Yeah, that's right. The speculation of why it looks so different. Uh, and simply because you have the makers of the graphics make so many different iterations of it during the filming because they probably lost one or it got stolen and so forth. So, the differences in the way they look as opposed to the way they were during those two films is entirely different. And you can't really say that, in the amount of time that Obi-Wan had the Graflex, how much time he actually had it out of that box, or did he go ahead and keep it in that box in that same time frame all those years and never pulled it out? And so, and whether there was any moisture going into that box or not. As far as the weather part of Tatooine, it was such a dry heat. There may not have been any moisture itself to really go ahead and uh, affect the outside of that hilt, especially if he had it wrapped up, right?
Yeah.
You're not really following, or are you?
Not really. I mean, I get it in a sense, but yeah.
Okay, because I'm jumping from both films, so I'm trying to combine the timeline between the two times, right? From the time that he fought Anakin to the time that he gave Luke the Graflex. You look tired, man.
Well, I mean, it, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. During the show, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then again, you have well, see, then again, if you go to the show, the episode where Ray is wrapping up Leia's and the Graflex of her iteration, she wraps them both and then buries them in the sand. Lord knows what they'd look like after many, many, many years, right?
Yeah.
Copper and brass inside by Theory. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna try. I should get Theory on here, man.
Uh, I'm.
I should get Theory on here if he'd agree to come onto the show.
It would be awesome if I could get to talk with Star Wars Theory. That would be awesome.
I tried to get the guy from Hyperdrive to come on, but he wasn't. He's been pretty busy, and yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, we also got to talk with John Santos, which I'm actually in case you didn't know, Mundo, LGT finally released its version of the Rise of Skywalker graphics, and
I had not.
it's confirmed because Dark Wolf, Johnny Collado, he's the
Hmm.
guy who's worked with LGT from the very beginning, getting sabers from them over here, and he just released it this last week on his page, on the store's page. So I'm looking forward to finally creating a Nexus version of the Graflex Supreme, which is what 89 Sabers did a while back.
Hmm.
Basically, it's all the different parts from the Graflex put, and you can swap them out. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's what I definitely want to do.
In after 3 shows, man, I'm gonna have a special guest on here, and that's as much as I'm gonna say because I want it to be a surprise for people. So
Just
we'll
message me. That way,
yeah.
I don't I don't say it out loud. I'll just be like, "Oh my god, no
Yeah,
fucking way!"
yeah. I'll let you know right before the show. I'll get him on
Trust
here
me, pretty
and I'll talk with
please.
him. I'll talk with him and everything before we get the show started.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
but
saw.
I did talk with him. I did talk with him this week, and he did say that after three shows, he's willing to come on. So yeah,
I found out that George Lucas is going to San Diego Comic Con for the first time.
really,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
it'll be his first time doing it. So he's doing a
Now,
panel with Doug Chang and Guillermo del Toro.
oh, cool.
Yeah. So that'll be fun for anyone who's going to San Diego Comic Con.
Now,
Do that.
how many?
No, I'm not doing that again, Crewster. No, 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 no. You do not get that. You do not get to record me without my consent. Yeah.
Krooster's cool.
Oh
I
yeah,
like Krooster.
he's awesome.
Krooster, I need to put you on my Christmas list, dude. If I had one.
Mm, yeah.
Man. I okay, so how many of you guys actually like we okay, let's go back to this because Rich says he likes the medium weathered hilts. I think I enjoy almost pristine to the medium weathered hilts. Si- I think in certain instances it is a must have for a heavily weathered hilt. And I think the Kenobi after episode 4 and
Well,
should be heavily weathered.
I would actually argue against that, considering Vader takes it and as a trophy, so it would probably be kept in Mustafar's cast in his Mustafar castle. Very similarly to how he did the same thing in Legends when he was in Bast Castle on Vajun.
Okay. Okay. I could see that.
And
That is definitely.
I mean, we haven't seen anything in the trilogy or in the comics where Luke goes to Mustafar. I mean, but I could see Kylo Ren picking it up in the Legacy of Vader comics, but honestly, who knows at this point? Like,
Where would Kenobi's hilt go after Vader was lost? After he died,
it would
right?
probably still be in a vault in Mustafar, in his
Wow.
castle. Keep in mind, Mustafar's fortress was still standing when Kylo Ren visits it in between The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, courtesy of the Legacy of Vader comic that is currently being issued.
True. True. So who would actually go to Mustafar and take over Vader's castle? I have not seen anything in the comics yet, though,
Well,
either.
that's because it hasn't. That's because right now it's all airing right now.
So we have to actually wait for that answer.
I've been seeing snippets and stuff on Facebook pages, but nothing concrete, like a full storyline. But when it does come out, I definitely do want to get that comic.
Yeah, I haven't been able to collect any of the comics except for the number one Star Wars,
Yeah,
and
I
that
don't
was it.
collect. I don't collect the paper, those paper ones. I usually get them when the entire issue is fully done. So like Darth Vader's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like I once they're all put into a full thing, that's when I do it.
Hmm. Now, okay, let's go into chassis inside these kind of hills. Do
Well,
you think not many chassis are going to the hilts are really never going to be opened up to expose, right? to be exposed to the elements unless they have actually been taken apart and then maybe into get into a fight at the time they have their hilt taken
Wait,
apart
hold on.
to
I just
work on it.
wait. Hold on. Correction. Hilt manager. A misunderstood translation is not compatible to say New Hope TFA and ESPN. Really? Oh, that's just no. No, 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 no. That's just. Oh. Well, that sucks. Uh,
What's okay?
I just got confirmation from Dark Wolf. Apparently, it was misunderstood. The manager of the Hilts at LGT said that there was a misunderstanding with the translation. They are not compatible.
Mm,
The New Hope, Force Awakens, and Empire Strikes Back clamps are interchangeable, but not the reforged Graflex. So,
okay.
yeah, that's not fun. Wow, that's just a real kick in the nads because I was hoping to do a full on interchangeable thing with that. So, ugh.
Yeah, well, things happen, man. Things happen.
Well,
What can you say? Just go with the flow, bro. Just go with the flow. And it sucks, though. It really does suck because when things like that happen, you know.
I mean, look, I don't blame. I mean, it's. Let me think. I mean, one thing. I mean, obviously the 89, the version by 89 Sabers is interchangeable, but yeah, I'm just bummed. That's all.
I would be too, dude. Now, do you think in the elements, if a Jedi or Sith takes apart their saber, how much sand, dirt, grit can you actually get into your chassis within universe, right?
I
To
honestly
work
don't.
on it.
I I honestly don't know. I think that honestly, it's not something I would consider doing.
Oh my god, Scott.
Your microphone
It
on.
better have whiskey, Scott. It better have whiskey, dude. It better have whiskey, man, because I tell you, ain't no pickle unless I'm cutting slices here. That's too funny, dude. Man, what is the hell is the problem with my laptop today? It was running really good, and today it's just like slow as molasses, man. I'm gonna have to check it out. My microphone is on point. Send you a dollar, eat a pickle. I'd rather drink beer, dude. Scott. Scott's always man. Scott's always making me laugh because we're sending each other some shit on Instagram and stuff, dude. But if you ever check out Scott's carpenter stuff, man, it's funny, but at the same time, he's got some badass stuff. Like I love the pictures of the kyber crystals that he sends me, dude. Stay
Yeah.
on target. This is my target, bro. This is my target. I am on target all the time. Ain't no missing this. Ain't no missing this, bro. Matter of fact, I'm about ready to reload.
Oh, I have water in mine. I need to stay hydrated. Fuck.
Oh yeah. I've got some soda right up in here on this thing. So after the two beers, because this thing right here is like two beers in one.
Yeah.
So two of these is like four beers. So after that, no more. I'm done for the night.
Yeah.
So if I really wanted to, I could get three of these and have a six pack a night, but I don't. I've learned to kind of be satisfied, not pukey.
Mm-hmm.
T, that's all right, bro. That's all right, man. So that okay, well let's go back. Do you guys in the chat and everybody else too? I mean, it doesn't matter. Um, how much do you think the chassis or the guts of a saber would actually be enough weathered? Be simply because if they were buried for many, many, many years, or they, I don't think you would have a whole lot of weathering on the inside, simply because if they opened it up real quick, worked on it, and then closed it up, it wouldn't be enough time for it to get all like that unless they buried it like in the sand or in the dirt or somewhere that it has a lot of grains of grit to get up in there, because of course not every, and especially if you have a heavily weathered hilt that may have some rust, and some rust opens up some hole in the hilt, right? And so if you're going to look into that, I would say if any kind of dirt, any kind of grime gets into your chassis, it would have to be many, many, many years of, like, in the desert or in the snow or in some kind of dirt area that really gets all those microscopic
Particles.
grains of sand in there. And then you have, or even water. Let's say your hill goes and drops in bodies of water and ends up at the bottom of whatever planet you're on. That's, um, and you have it just saturated with the liquid itself. Of course, you're going to have to take it out and redo a whole lot of stuff. So if you have any metal within the chassis itself, and you get the barnacles, you get all of that type of crud that just cakes onto metal itself, then I can see how it would get inside your hilt, right? Soda or white lightning. A light dust, maybe. Yeah, Cruiser. I would think so. I would think so, dude. I mean, just slight particles of dust in there, especially if you're not one to take apart your saber right then and there. If you're in if in your house or your enclosed area, your ship, and you work on your ship, and mind you that you keep your ship pretty clean, considering where you go. If you're that kind of entity, that type of being, that you keep your stuff clean, then you run the less risk of having it get rust or anything else. And if you're cleaning your saber inside your ship, then you really don't run the risk of having anything on the inside ruining the energy flow, right? And if you ruin the energy flow, what constitutes something to block that energy? I don't think any kind of, I wouldn't say anything from sand or anything like that, because Kenobi's was working pretty well, and so was Luke's in the desert. So I would say that there has to be something pretty heavily used in order for a saber not to work within the elements if you're keeping it closed up pretty well.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm just going on a certain way of doing things,
No,
right?
that, yeah, of course.
I'm just going a certain way of seeing certain things that you may not see what's going on behind closed doors or open doors or so forth. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios that you can dream up and see what precipitates the the chassis being weathered itself. Because there is no honestly, and you guys in the chat, tell me, I don't see a whole lot of people talking about chassis weathering at times. I mean, most of it's going to be on the outside of the hill.
Well, I would say that the reason why there isn't chassis weathering is because when it comes to certain chassis, such as the Graflex or Vaders, it's mostly there's going to be an ornate design to it, like gold or copper or that sort of thing. Because why go through the trouble of putting in the work for that golden and whatnot chassis if you're all of a sudden just going to weather it? Because the idea of the chassis is supposed to be pristine. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
if you were to do like some weathering on the PLA on the plastic bits of it, that could make sense. But on the gold or the crystal chamber, that just yeah.
I would say, and if any moisture actually gets into the chassis, I mean, if you're having copper, right, inside the chassis, you're going to have some light, maybe light to heavy patina within the copper itself of the chassis, depending on where it's left. And if you leave it open quite a bit, if you're constantly working on your lightsaber, then you have a risk of patina that copper quite a bit because of the moisture that comes in as soon as you open the hilt. As soon as the copper hits that air, you're having a patina on it. Now, it may be not real heavy, but through the years of opening your hilt and closing your hilt, depending on the moisture content in the air, yeah, you could have a slight heavy patina on your chassis, given that it's all copper. Given that it's all copper, because how many items do you have, or even like maybe even silver or other stuff that gets super dirty? Oh, dude, I think I've got an excellent piece that might showcase somewhat of a patina here, and it's not copper, but it is of silver patina. And let me see here. Now, don't laugh at me, guys. I got this for my wife a long time ago, but look at that. You
Oh,
see
very
that?
nice. Oh,
That is heavily weathered patina on the silver. I mean, it is dirty, and it has been here in the garage for years, right? I mean, look at that.
hmm.
Even though, look at the sides. Look how the sides where it was actually laid down, where it wasn't even up. You can see the difference in how much shinier this side is compared to the top, right? So,
Nice.
with the amount of time that you can go through certain metals, copper turns green. Yeah, it does. It turns amazing colors sometimes, and if you let it, oh yeah, look at pennies, dude. Look at copper pennies. If you let them sit out in the air so long, and how they kind of corrode and turn like a greenish, ugly color, right? It's actually the process of it though is actually kind of cool if you think about it,
Hmm.
because only time. I mean, you could clean it up. I don't think there's any kind of concept metal that you couldn't clean up, given the time that you have. depending on the look that you want. If you want to make it pristine, you can. Have you ever taken a penny, cleaned it up, taken that little powder or that stuff from Dremel that cleans things? If you've ever taken that kind of cleaning agent and taken it to a penny, and I've seen some videos. So if you guys haven't seen that, go to Dremel and they'll show you like the cleaning compound that they have in the pennies that they show you that like's really dirty or maybe even not even that dirty, and then they clean it up with the compound and they show you that stuff. Man, it is like night and day. They put that piece of tape and they clean one side of it, and you see the compound. They go to town on it. They clean it up. It's like, oh my God, super shiny, like almost pristine when it came out of the punch, out of the whatever you call it, right? When they make the pennies and stuff, the stamp.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. So if you take that into consideration, if you take that into consideration and you decide that that patina, that kind of weathering is no longer wanting to be had, you do have, depending on the shape of the object itself, whether it be your hilt and so forth, depending on the shape and if you clean it up, you may have to take some painstaking steps to get it back to that pristine look, right? As you would take painstaking steps to make it weathered, you would have to do the opposite for to make it look pristine just the same if it was already weathered naturally.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty interesting, if you put some science behind it. If you put some science behind it. But then again, you got to put a little bit of elbow grease and time into it as well. And with all things, whether they be weathered, patina, semi-weathered, fully weathered, heavily weathered, no matter what, everything takes time. If you agree with that, that statement. I mean, everything. And even people, your installs, everything takes time. Depending on how much time you want to spend on that particular facet of the hilt, whether you enjoy doing that stuff, whether you don't enjoy doing this stuff, and you have somebody who enjoys to do that stuff and you take it to them to do that for you. It all comes down to the amount of time that you're willing to spend and money to achieve what you're looking for in terms of a pristine hilt or a dirty hilt.
Yeah.
And that, you know, and like you said, Barris, it is also, and it will, and the bottom line, guys, is it is always a self choice, an individual choice for you to have. And don't, never let anybody tell you what you should or should not have. It is your hilt, your choice. You do it the way you want to. And that is the bottom line. And again, whether you like a dirty hilt, whether you like a clean hilt, whether you like a in between hilt, whether it be, like I said, light to medium weathered, maybe medium to heavy weathered. If you're going with a certain look for a certain show, I would, Barris, what do you think? I would say it would be going, I guess, around a certain show if you're looking for that certain look, right?
Hmm.
You would, I mean, would you agree with that statement that it would be the let's say you're going for the episode 4 look as opposed to the episode 1 look.
Are you
So,
talking about Kenobi's look saber or?
well, we can use that as an example. We can use that as an example.
Well, I mean, I would say with first off, first off, both the Kenobi's hilt from episode one and from episode four are completely different hilts. Um, but I would say it really all depends. Like if you like a good example is if you wanted to do a version of Kenobi's hilt from post episode one, like the one like if you like for example, that hilt got kicked by Darth Maul into a into a junk trash heap. So it would appear rusted. It would appear like it's been junked. Like that could work.
Hmm. But what is the time frame in that? You see what I'm saying? The time frame.
I would say give it about 5 or 10 years.
Oh yeah, roughly, right?
Yep.
Roughly. And I would say something that's heavily weathered is usually around that baseline time of 5 to 10 years, depending on your weather situation. Well, if you're going in universe, the
Oxidization, that sort of thing.
yeah, and depending on the planet, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the planet, because well, let's put it this way: when Kenobi was on the water planet and he
Uh,
was right.
when he was swimming underneath Naboo to the Gungan city,
Well, there you go. So Qui-Gon and yeah. So in that episode, their lightsabers were
interacting with water.
underwater.
Well, keep in mind that was only briefly. It's one thing when
Hmm.
it's briefly submerged. It's another thing when it's been there prolonged by the elements. Like,
Yeah,
okay, I would expect like after half a year to a year, some corrosion would happen. Some corrosion on the outside would happen, but it would probably take a while, considering that lightsabers are made out of a very durable, metal.
right. So do you think that after being submerged in water for so many years, that you could actually just pull it out of the water, pull that moss or whatever it's been under off, and it'd be okay?
I don't know.
Or
Possibly.
would you have to actually take the saber apart and work on it, because you have that liquid that got into the circuits and everything else on top of that, and really dry it out and or put new circuits in there. And I don't think you would have to worry about the crystal itself. I think the crystal itself would be actually um, the crystal itself, I think would be actually okay and not get messed with. And they would only have to really redo a lot of the circuitry, which because of the water log that would have it, and the energy source, the battery, of course, um, where the kyber crystal would bring in from the energy
Well, I mean,
and have that.
as we've seen in Clone Wars, there is a way where you can waterproof your lightsaber and use it underwater. Kit Fisto
Mhm.
did it, Anakin Skywalker did it, Ahsoka did it, and which honestly, it does look really cool.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Brewster, I did mention that, yeah. Which let me just say, thank you to the original Clone Wars 2003 for making that happen in part of the canon,
Yeah,
part of the lore.
absolutely. I think that would be so important to understand that there are steps that you can take to actually preserve your health under the underwater. And like you said, they did it in those episodes, and that was just really interesting to watch because because then how could the Jedi actually fight underwater? They had the helmets and everything, but how would their lightsabers fare underwater, especially with the blade being plasma, right?
Yeah.
So I think again, if you go to the electromagnetic casing that the blade had, kind of protected it from that water as well. so that it wouldn't fizzle out from the water itself. Uh, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting, man.
Hmm.
Backstories. Hmm. Now, how many? I haven't researched this at all, but actually, how many Jedi that were killed off and lost their lightsabers, especially like when Grievous killed all those Jedi and he had the collection of
I
hilts.
would say when it comes to lightsabers that were collected by General Grievous, I would say that look, he was even though he was cybernetically transformed by Dooku and the Banking Clan, a, a, a part of him from his previous life as a Kalish warlord remained, where he valued the trophies that he received, that he took from his slain from the slain Jedi. So he would definitely maintain and ensure that those hilts were well kept.
Yeah, I think so. I think they were well kept. But where would okay, so do you think that maybe the Geonosians captured some of those hilts after that fight after Kenobi killed him?
First off, no, because that was on Utapau. Kenobi
Okay.
killed Grievous on Utapau.
On
Secondly,
Utapau. Okay.
I mean, I would assume that after Order 66 happened, the 212th gathered up whatever they could find, especially the lightsabers that were dropped by Grievous, and probably just had them brought them back to Coruscant to the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, well, of course, Grievous is an asshole. He and you know what's funny is that George Lucas imagined him as a mustache twirling villain, and yet what we got, courtesy of Gerd Tarkovsky, was an absolute badass. Thank God for miscommunications in that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I can see it though. I mean, I can actually see what Lucas was thinking because just 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 going just going with the mustache like this.
Well, I mean, we got some of that.
So Kenobi.
We got that in some
I
of the
mean,
Star Wars cartoons. We got that with uh, that one Spider General person, General Loathsome in the Clone Wars animated movie.
hmm
But I mean, yeah,
Oh my God, I can just that makes me laugh though, just seeing that in General Grievous, dude. Like it's total hilarity. Total hilarity. So Kenobi.
yeah.
Yeah, oh my God. But thank God we got the original trilogy the way it was. And that is, you cannot beat the original trilogy.
Yeah.
But
But
again, let's go back to some of the dirty hills or clean hills.
Barris
And so,
Mendocino, what? I don't get
medicine.
it. I don't get it. Mendoci, Barris Mendocino Grievous. What is that? I don't. What do you? I don't get it.
Shaggy Jedi faceplant.
Ugh.
Scott. Oh my God. Scott's just going on and on. Menacing. Yeah, it's menacing Grievous. He can't type today. Spell checker sucks. His spell checker sucks, people. I'm gonna have to put something on there like that. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Let me see. I'm gonna find something for that. And again, man, my computer is slow as molasses today. I'm gonna find an appropriate clip for that. I'm gonna find appropriate clip. And you know what? I haven't. And T has not been on the show in a while, man. He has not been on the show. What is going on with this thing? Oh my God. That's why I do this show on my phone, guys. Because if I was doing it on the laptop, it would be sucking so hard. He's sucking so hard. But this is for you, T, because you came in. Let's see if it'll go. Let's see if it'll go. I want to see if it'll go. T has his own entrance when we had this show. No, something went wrong on the show. Oh my God. You see? Again, I tell you, this what is going on with this laptop today? My goodness. T, I am so sorry, man, because I'm trying, and I'm not going to do it on the phone here, because if I do it on the phone, I might screw it up. But I'm going to do it on the laptop, and it's kicking me back. It kicked me out, now it's going to take me back to the, it's going to kick me back to the show on the laptop. This is too hilarious, man. And it's going to show that I came back in. Oh my God. This is too funny, guys. This is too funny. That's why I do it on the show, man. That's why I do it on the show. Let me see here. Mundo. Okay, I'm gonna cut that out there. Let's see. Let me go back to media and see if it'll do it. Let's see, T. Do you get your intro?
T to the mother.
Hey!
Whoa.
Like, what's the
You got your intro, T. You got your intro, bro. Hey. That's cool, man. That's cool. Let me see. Go back to comments here. I had to try it. I had to do it, dude. I had to do it, man. We haven't done we haven't done T's intro in a long time. Cause T hasn't been on a long time. He's been missing in action, bro. He's been busy. He's been busy. And he used to be on with me, Anthony, and everybody for a long time. Him and it was just it's been great. You know, I'm glad you've been able to come on this time, dude. And so let's see here. Don't do it! No! And then he's all cool.
Yeah.
Man, chill, Bears. Oh yeah, I know why you're a little down, dude. You gotta go back to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weekend's over, huh? Are you
Yeah.
off on the weekend?
Yeah. I'm off on the weekend.
Me too. I gotta go to work too. I gotta go to work too. And I'm like, oh no. Have y'all? Have y'all been watching the Yeti and Bigfoot memes?
No, but I've seen the 100 man versus one gorilla one. Yeah, and
Man,
I just saw the most dumbest thing ever. So, okay, I know we're not supposed to get into politics and just dumb stuff like that, but some account is some account. I don't know if it's on Twitter. I think someone hacked the Elmo Twitter account. And,
yeah, I think so too.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I do.
Like, first off, Elmo loves Jews. Hell, he did a whole Shabbat thing on Sesame Street years ago. Like, what the heck, man?
Dude, I think a lot of people are starting to hack things, and it's like, oh my God.
Just,
Have you
uh,
watched the storm? Have you all watched the Stormtrooper vlogs?
oh, is that a YouTube channel or is that one of those those new AI things?
No, no. These are guys that are just doing hilarious shit. But
Oh, was
it
this from
there's,
like College Humor, like way back in the day?
I
Yes,
guess because
I know.
because
I
they're
know.
storm.
It. but they didn't look like stormtrooper helmets. They looked really weird. Like,
No, these are actually stormtroopers, and they're talking their shit, and they're making fun of Vader and everything else, right? Like
hold
one of
on,
the
I'm
skits,
looking for this. I'm looking for this.
Stormtrooper vlogs. I think it's on Instagram or Facebook or both, and they are hilarious, man.
Yeah,
They are hilarious. Oh,
found
it's an AI thing,
Yep,
really?
yep. I found it.
Okay, it
Yep,
probably is an AI thing.
yep. There's a meeting the Yeti. There's Luke Skywalker. There's the plan. Fixing abandoned ship. Return of Jimmy. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, there's just a bunch of these. Oh my
Oh,
god! And
they are hilarious,
just a
dude.
month ago with called Trip to Endor, and I could just see that being that. That just sounds like a whole mess.
Oh, it's hilarious, man, because there's one where the stormtrooper gets onto he's vlogging, right? He's got the camera and he's talking, "Hey, everybody keeps talking about Skywalker being here and da 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 da, right? And we're this and we're that." And so he gets into a ship and he takes off from the ship and starts talking all kinds of mess. And all of a sudden you see the Death Star blow up and he goes, "Well, I guess taking a joyride didn't kill the stormtrooper this time, huh?" You know, I mean, it was just hilarious, man.
Yeah.
I can't, and I'm not gonna explain it. You know, the differences. You got to watch them for yourself. But they are hilarious. They are
Okay.
hilarious.
I would like to. Oh yeah, Chad Vader. Yes, Chad Vader. Okay, the guy who created Chad Vader. Matthew. What's his name? Matt Sloan. That guy. He was one of the first people to ever do like a successful Darth Vader fan thing ever, and
Mhm.
that I love that guy. And because of his success and how great it was, Lucasfilm reached out to him. And that is how he became like the Darth Vader voice that we know from The Force Unleashed, The Force Unleashed 2, for Star Wars Battlefront 2015 and 2017. Like he is besides okay, who's the other Darth Vader voice? Darth Vader voice actor.
Oh, you're talking.
Actors. Okay, yeah. Besides James Earl Jones,
Oh,
and
besides him. Okay.
yeah, there's there's Matt Lucas from the original Clone Wars. There's Matt Latner. La 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 la. God, I hate it. There's, come on, all 14 actors who played Darth Vader. Okay, David Prowse, Bob Anderson, blah 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 blah. Sebastian Shaw, Scott Lawrence. So yeah, Scott Lawrence has been doing the voice of Darth Vader since Star Wars TIE Fighter in 1994. He's done it for Dark Forces, Rebel Assault 2, Rebellion, the arcade trilogy, Rogue Leader, Revenge of the Sith, the 2005 video game, the original Battlefront 2 video game, Empire at War, Vader Immortal, Jedi Fallen Order, which I thought originally was James Earl Jones because of how in depth the voice was.
Mm-hmm.
But Scott Lawrence and Matt Sloan have done a lot of great work. Like Matt Sloan, he's also known for doing Lego Darth Vader and the Lego Star Wars stuff.
I actually think that those are pretty kind of cool, man. The Lego stuff.
Yep, it
I
says
saw.
on Screen Rant. Matt Sloan launched the Star Wars parody YouTube series Chad Vader Day Shift Manager and went on to work for Lucasfilm as a voice double for James Earl Jones. His time as Vader has mainly been in video games, including popular titles such as Star Wars The Force Unleashed and Star Wars Battlefront. Sloan has also provided his voice for multiple
Wow.
Star Wars Lego specials, including Star Wars Droid Tales.
Wow.
Yeah, and there are a lot of incredible. There are also a lot of stunt doubles for Vader. Like, for example, in Rogue One, there were two stunt doubles. Spencer Wildling, when he was in when he was in the Vader the castle the Mustafar castle scene. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and his height is 6'7", and then he also brought he also and then there's also Daniel Napros, who was the Vader stunt double for the hallway scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for
Wow.
Vader in Kenobi, there was Demetrius Bistrevsky and Tom O'Connell.
Wow.
Yeah,
See, I don't know all these I don't know all these names, man. And I
well,
honestly, I don't pay that much attention to that much detail
I'm on
in
Screen Rant
terms.
right now, so that's why it's so big.
Well, no, no, I get it, dude. But I'm saying like for I mean, if you go into the lore and you go into the different actors, you really have to do your homework if there's certain things that you're trying to achieve, right? Um, Again, if you're into the many different actors and the many different voice actors that portray that particular character in Star Wars, I mean, there's a big rabbit hole that you can go into and
Buddy,
and learn about that
I
stuff.
am already in a rabbit hole right now. I am collecting lightsabers. That is my rabbit hole. That is my rabbit
Well,
hole.
that is not necessarily a rabbit hole. That is a collector's point
Yeah,
of view.
but you're
No, no,
always
no.
upgrading, collecting, and not da 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 da. It's always like that.
Oh my God. Dude, you are talking to a collector himself, but of course I am a collector of many things as well. And I tell you, the reason why I started collecting lightsabers is because I am fortunate enough to have a father-in-law who has gifted me with several swords of different places, right? So take for instance, you got this sword right here,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, that looks like a Viking sword.
Yeah.
Woo!
So my
Well, yep. I'm good at that.
my father-in-law has gifted me several hilts, several swords
Your
from
father.
different times. My father-in-law, he actually deals in different antiquities of swords and firearms, and so I'm very fortunate to have received quite a few. I even have a couple. Maybe the next Sunday I will show some of those swords and stuff too. Besides this one, and show you some of the different kind of swords that he has given to me as gifts, and I love him for it, man, because uh, me being a knife, sword, and collector, uh, when I, initially getting into the lightsaber community and getting to collect lightsabers, my initial entrance into lightsabers was again going back to my friend who passed away from brain cancer and
Yeah.
wanting to immortalize his voice and his memory. And so in doing so, I thought that doing one lightsaber and having one lightsaber with his voice was going to be enough for me to have in my
It,
collection.
it's never enough.
And and I fell in love with doing installing the lightsabers. The lightsaber themselves was an extension of my sword collecting, so to speak, right? And having having worked on these when I first started, I didn't understand what installers were going through and why they were so expensive in the time that I was trying to achieve my friend's memory hilt. And I thought to myself, well, let me pay this much and I'll get it done and that'll be the end of it, right? Well, when I said, oh my God, I can't afford that, I'll just learn how to do it myself. I'll watch these videos, I'll learn how to do this. And it brought me a whole new perspective onto what these installers do. And now, every time that I look at a video, every time I work on a wire, every time I work on a saber part, I honor those installers that I have learned from, watched, and recommended. Like Jeremy, Tim from Tirfon Orbital. Um, Again, Shamim, KR, and I mean, and then Mad Cow, all of those individuals that I learned from and watched and got feedback. You you
Oh,
have
uh,
you
speaking of
have to
Mad Cow,
give credit.
speaking of Mad Cow, is that the special guest you were talking about?
No, no, it's somebody else. It's
Okay,
somebody else.
but he
Mad Cow is going to come on, but it's going to be after the fall. It'll be after
oh,
the
okay,
fall
all right.
because
So yeah,
he's on sabbatical right now.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
after
So
the
early Hanukkah gift, yay!
I'm not gonna tell you, dude, because again, I said it's gonna be a surprise. You'll be surprised, and you'll be pleasantly surprised who it is, right? And it'll be cool, man. It'll be really cool. We talked about it yesterday. So now, whether you talk to him in between that time, I don't know, but it will be cool because he uh he told me he's willing to come on and it'll be awesome because he will be a brand new guest on the show and it'll be so awesome to have him.
Yeah.
So awesome
So
to have
hey,
him.
listen, real quick. The reason why I was texting back and forth because so Dark Wolf finally confirmed to me that the clamp on the new Rise of Skywalker hilt by Nexus, it can be removed. So basically,
Mm,
what this looks like is basically you undo the top, you take off the clamp card that's on top of it, and it's held together by what looks to be four primary screws. So once you
mm,
get those screws off, you can take off the clamp. That
mm-hmm,
way, if you want to switch it out with the right the Empire Strikes Back clamp or the A New Hope clamp, you can do that. And honestly, I'm happy with that because look, I have my A New Hope Graphics, but that was made by Master Replicas from 2007. I love that hilt. That is a hilt that I will always cherish. However, I like I said, it's a rabbit hole. I want more Star Wars hilts. So that's what I want. And that is a hilt that I want. And the one I'm going to do, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy from Crewster a Graflex hilt, and I'm going to buy all the pieces and be able to
wow.
switch them out whenever. Basically, it's similar to what 89 Sabers did with their Graflex, the Graflex Supreme, which I wish that with this new coming out, I wish that they would do that. But ultimately, what we have here is something that I think would be incredible.
It's gonna be incredible that I gotta say.
The danger signal. Sword of omens. Give me sight beyond sight.
Why did you do that? Also,
Because
uh, I mean, the only
come
thing,
on.
I mean, Thundercats is a classic. I'll give you that. But like, all I remember when it comes to Thundercats is just that Family Guy parody of like him glaring through the Sword of Omens, and just seeing, I think it was Tigress or something on the toilet, and then Snarf interrupting Lionel because Lionel, what are you doing? Snarf, snarf.
Come on, dude. I gotta have some kind of humor in this thing.
Yeah. The Nexus Episode 7 and the TXQ Graphics SE. Well, I will say that, well, KB, when it comes to the new graphics that Netflix has done, I would say that a good the graphics SE that TXQ has made is nice if you want it to, like spinning and whatnot. However, I would say if you really want to go and have with something just basic, go with the new one that Nexus has made, because Netflix did a Gratflix. No, Nexus.
What?
Nexus.
KB, I think we're all tired, bro.
Yeah, I think that's my cue to say. I think that's the cue, Mundo, to let's all get some rest.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. KB, man, thank you so much, though, dude. I mean, I love the fact that you come on, dude, and I love the fact that everybody comes on and hangs out with us on Sunday. Now, I got a question for you guys. I mean, it's not about sabers or anything, but um, how do you guys like the orientation that I'm at right now? Because with the last orientation that I have with how I'm doing the show, right? I'm doing the show from my phone, but at the angle that I'm at, okay, uh, the laptop I had on my right hand side, this time I put it on the left hand side, and I've always had um, the phone on the left hand side, and you would see me constantly turning my head left and right, so that I could go back and forth. Now, I think if I can do this orientation more often, my head is actually going to be facing you guys more, and you're going to see me less doing this bit and more straight on, or at least just slightly turned, right? So, um, you love it there? Okay, cool. Man, I was just kind of like agonizing, should I leave my stuff the way I had it or move my laptop to the right hand side? Of course, I had to reorient my workbench to get the laptop on the left hand side. Besides, I work better with my left hand side anyway,
Yeah.
so
Well,
because my right
in
hand
my
can work
case,
the
dude, I'm sitting on my couch and I'm on a laptop. So
yeah,
you
but
have
the laptop is right in front of you, and you can type. It's a little harder because I have to use one hand to type, and I've got the because if the way
no,
you see me right here, the way you see me right here, I've got the phone right here and the laptop just right behind me. I mean, well, not behind me this way, but right in front of me this way. Right in front of me this way. So, um, I wanted to capture everything if I could get the captured things behind me here and actually kind of touch up uh, right there, which is the Death Star lit up. And so forgive me with the orientation of my finger because I get kind of weird. Anyway, um, going back and forth. I'm ambidextrous, but I work well with both my hands, as you can tell. And so I'm trying to do a shot of whiskey, mofo. Ter- I already had that long time ago, bro. I'm I had that like much earlier today. Maybe if I do If I do that, it'll be later on tonight, or it'll be next show where I start off with that and then go to this. But other than that, no, no more tonight. This is two, and that's it for me tonight.
Mm,
I got to work in the morning, so I don't want to go overboard with this stuff.
yeah. Well, I think that's our cue to to hang it up for tonight, Mundo.
Yeah, I think
But
so too, guys.
listen, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this broadcast of Saber Talk. We are always very happy to have you on this show. Mundo, I am very grateful to be your co-host. And to everyone, I say good morning to some, good afternoon to others, and to the rest of you all, good night.
I agree, man, and thank you so much, Bears, for coming on. It's always a pleasure to have you, dude. And again, with everybody hanging out with us on Sundays nights, I know you guys have, you busy lives and everything else, and uh, maybe you have families, and you take that time to come and hang out with us and talk Sabers, talk Star Wars. If there's anything that you guys would like to talk about on the show, you can always email me at e_cabrera I at yahoo.com, and you can get a hold of me through my Instagram and Facebook, Edmundo Cabrera the third. So again, guys, don't be shy. If there's something you guys want to talk about on the show, or you have some ideas you want to talk about, hit me up, man. I mean, I don't care what it is, whether it's Star Wars or lightsabers and stuff like that. Um, let's do it, man. I'm always willing to hear what you guys have to say and what you guys want to talk about. The least I can do is hear what ideas y'all have that y'all want to talk about on the show. And much respect to you guys coming in. Like I said, Sunday nights, it is so much love and respect that you spend this time with us and me on the show. And I have to give so much love and respect to Anthony Space Windu for allowing me and Barris to run the show, simply because of how busy he is. But at the same time, you guys know he can pop in at any time he wants to, right? This is his channel, this is his show, but he lets me do it the way I want to. So make sure that you like and subscribe to Civilized Sabers if you haven't already. Uh, get other people to like and subscribe to Civilized Sabers and watch us. If you guys can, go on to the Mundo channel on Instagram and give it a little bit of love too, because whatever you see here, you're gonna see over there. Now, there's a few episodes that you're not gonna see here that you'll see over there, simply because we got docked a couple of times with some prior intros that Anthony had made, but we couldn't do anything about that. So if you guys want to watch those episodes that you can't see here, head on to the Mundo channel on Instagram and check them out, dude. You won't be sorry. I mean, what you see here is what you get over there. And so if you miss something here, you can't find something here, I'm sure you'll find it on the Mundo channel. And again, thank you guys so much. With that, let me see. I'm gonna have to find my intro and outro. And man, again, to like and subscribe, guys, man. I can't thank you enough,
Yep.
especially for Barris too. Oh, and just a real quick, Mountain Sabers was not able to come. He had a real busy schedule this week, so I want to make sure and get out that to like and subscribe to Mountain Sabers as well. He is a third co-host on here at times when he has time to come on. So make sure you check his stuff out on YouTube, on his channel, and everything else, man. With
Yep.
that, Mundo out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Did it not go? Oh, it stopped. Yeah, my God. It is not going. I tell you, this computer's like acting